Have you ever felt like your reactions, your gut feelings are running on some kind of hidden program? One you don't remember installing? Well, today we're going to get into this really powerful idea that for some of us, that program was actually written way back in childhood. And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it. The word that really stands out to me here is quietly. This isn't some big dramatic event. It's this slow, subtle process that shapes the very foundation of who you are, a lot of times without you even noticing it's happening. So that's the real question, right? It's one thing to say you've got this program running in the background, but it's something else entirely to see how it actually shows up, in your job, in your relationships, even when you're just by yourself. So let's pull back the curtain and decode the 3 hidden traits that make up this whole operating system. All right, first up, we've got something we're calling the emotional radar. Now, the official term for this is hypervigilance, but honestly, emotional radar just feels so much closer to what it's actually like to live with this day in and day out. So what does that actually mean? Well, put simply, it means your nervous system is on high alert. Pretty much all the time. You are constantly soaking up information, you're super sensitive to the smallest things, and you're scanning, always scanning for any sign of a threat. And here's the thing, this isn't a choice. It's a state of being that's been wired into you. Yeah, this is the perfect way to describe it. Just imagine walking into a room and instantly you just know the vibe. You pick up on the tiniest shift in someone's tone of voice. You see that little flicker of an expression on their face that no one else catches. It's like a superpower, really. But it's a superpower that was born out of having to constantly predict the unpredictable. Okay, let's pivot to our second trait. And at first, this one might seem totally random and unrelated, but trust me, it's deeply connected. We're calling it deflecting praise, and it comes from this really deep place of chronic self-doubt. What's so important to understand here is that this is not about being humble or modest. It's a gut reaction. It's automatic. Someone tells you, hey, you did a great job, and instantly your brain goes, oh, they're just being nice. Or, what do they want from me? Or just a flat out, no, it really wasn't that good. Sound familiar? So where on earth does a reaction like that come from? Well, this comparison lays it out so clearly. In a healthy home, when you succeed, people celebrate you. It's your win. But in a narcissistic home, a kid's success can feel like a threat to the parent. So it gets dismissed, or they compete with you, or worse, they take credit for it. If you're taught over and over that your wins aren't really yours, how are you ever supposed to learn to just accept a compliment? And that leads us right into our third and final trait, this intense need for control. But it is so important, so crucial that you see that subtitle. This isn't about having power over other people. It's about a desperate, deep down search for safety. We're not just talking about being a little neat or liking a plan. This is about trying to turn down the volume on a fire alarm that's constantly blaring inside you. When your childhood felt chaotic and you had zero control, it makes perfect sense that as an adult, you'd try to manage every little detail. It's not about being bossy. It's about trying to build a safe little world for yourself. And you can see the logic here, right? It's a painful kind of logic, but it makes sense. Step 1, your world is unpredictable. Step 2, that chaos creates this constant anxiety that you carry with you. So, step 3, you learn a really simple equation. If I can control my schedule, my work, my house, then maybe, just maybe, I can control this awful feeling inside and finally feel safe. So let's zoom out and put all of these pieces together. Because these 3 traits, they aren't separate things. They work together. They're all part of one interconnected, deeply wired survival program. Think about it like a loop. Your emotional radar is always on, looking for danger, which keeps your anxiety turned way up. That anxiety is what drives the quest for control, right? You're trying to build that safe space. And then, because you were taught that your value is shaky, the compliment deflector steps in and bats away any positive feedback that might actually help lower that anxiety. See? Each part feeds the others. It keeps the whole program running. And this right here, this is the most important takeaway of all. If you hear nothing else, please hear this. These traits are not who you are. They are not character flaws. They are not weaknesses. They are proof of how incredibly resilient you are. They're a brilliantly designed system that a kid created to survive a situation that felt impossible. Just seeing this program, acknowledging that it exists, that is a huge game-changing step. It's like finally being able to see the code that's been running in the background of your life. But Of course, that naturally brings up the next big question. And we're going to leave you with that to think about. Because once you can see the program, you suddenly have the power to start debugging it. That awareness is the key that unlocks everything else. The journey to rewrite that code, it's a long one, for sure. But it all starts with the simple, incredibly powerful realization that none of this was ever your fault.